Jerry.
Hello and welcome to SGDC. Woo. I'm your not insane host, J Diddy. Today we're bringing you tons of baby oil and game news. Woo. So lube up and get ready for Andreas. Woo.
Thank you. Whoa. Okay. I was like, whose apartment is that? But big surprise, I'm gonna talk about Not Us. Boom. It's the team, as usual, me and the team. And today on my brain, you know this part. He has told me that I can now delegate something that is in dire need of getting delegating. Dural will, I don't know, I don't want to say make a new tutorial, but it's more general than that. It's some sort of onboarding, teaching the game mechanic. That's the number one feedback we had. In the negative part is it's so damn hard to learn, and the positive part is the art sure looks good. So, you know, the part that I make is the problematic one. That's great. But as Dural is going back and looking at the onboarding of players, I will look ahead to the future levels. So the first new level beyond the demo will be introduced today. It's called River. Basically the keywords that was on my mind when we started this. And we use something called mutations in this game to make new levels. So it's the same card game with some mutations. Usually we're planning on having two mutations each level. The first one, yeah, since I'm bad at teaching, apparently, this is going to be a challenge to maybe get right, but basically, certain cards will merge and become even more powerful, and a new card will be drawn in its place. So it goes something like this. There's two of the same element. Basically means that one of them eats the other and becomes bigger, more powerful. Then we have a comorbid mutation that says if you create a maximum level enemy card, you will get some help with your trap jar. It will get some free points. And the trap jar, as you know, might know, is used to capture very powerful cards that you can't deal with right now. So it will stay there for at least 2 more rounds, and so that be pinned. So yeah, that's the River mutation. So that's going to be the card game in this level. And now onwards to the good part, the art, the P art. So this is Laura's sketch when she was working with this. We're planning on having the problem or the quest or whatever you want to call it, the obstacle in this level be that this river here with a waterfall coming awfully close to the road, so the river gets, what's it called, flooded, like too much flow, and it's going to hit the road like so they can't travel on it. So they're going to stop, go into the forest, come up with some sort of magic awesomeness to solve this, or make new friends or whatever, like they did in the demo. Anyway, so that was her sketching, and now I'm going to show you the video of how she made this finalist result. That's the river level. I think that's it. Yeah, any questions?
Are there layers in there for parallax effects?
Yes, there will be parallax effects. Yes.
Do you have a specific like creature or other type of entity in mind for the river level that you are dealing with?
Yeah, in the form of the so-called ally cards. There's always two allies, two animals, local beings who will, you can play their cards and get the help with their powers. And we're planning a crab and a frog for this river level. And that's actually going to be next week's SGDC. I'm going to show you how the art came about for that too. Yes?
What are the primary design problems with creating a tutorial for this game?
The first one is that I just, on an emotional level, hate making tutorials. So I don't know what my problem is, and that makes it a lot harder. And also this, I think this is a problem that most game devs, as I understand it, has. You actually don't understand how a new player coming to your game thinks, because you have played it a million times while debugging and testing and all that stuff, so you just don't know what they want to know. But Duriel claims to have some sort of amazing technique to do it right, so I'm really banking on him. Yes.
Is it fair to say that you are taking a sort of diegetic approach to the tutorial in the current version, where it's like they don't talk about the game mechanics?
Yes.
As if it's a game.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no arrows. There's no pop-ups or tooltips or whatever. It's just the characters who are discussing what they're doing, and that needs to translate into something for the player to understand. So that makes it harder. Yeah, I made it very hard for myself as well. This beyond also being bad at making tutorials. But I just gotta say, one of my problems with tutorials, because I also dislike playing them, not only making them, is that it's so easy for the tutorial to just feel frustrating and stupid. I don't like non-diegetic tutorials. You know, when you're supposed to be immersed in this magical forest, and all of a sudden there's supposed to be arrows and blinking things and text. I just hate it. And instead, I was hoping to get away with the characters actually talking in character about what was going on. And I think we can still do that. I guess if I have to pick a tutorial style, it's simply the one where you introduce one piece at a time, which we did in the tutorial. We sort of started very simple with just a few elements and then added. But I was also stressed out, assuming that the players were already frustrated with me in my game because I was taking too long. So the tutorial, one of the biggest problems is that it's very compressed. It's like bam, 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 everything is just happening. And one major feedback from Duel was, it's best to take a break and let it sink in and tell the player why this is useful. Not just how does this work, but why is it good to know. And just like chill, have a few extra steps, let the player maybe play around a bit, and choosing to go on instead of just being, here, quick, we need to get to the real game, hurry. That's probably not very smart of me. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up. No. Passive aggressive and fail. Any other questions? Thank you so much.
Next up, the littlest of Chris's.
All right. So hello. I'm Chris. I'm a game developer and part-time volunteer here at the house, and also I'm studying the Indie Quest, trying to learn C# at the moment. I haven't done much in the way of game development since I spoke to you last time, but I do have a quick update on some things that I did talk about last week, so I thought I might as well keep the momentum going and go for week 2 of my SGDC streak. We will see how long it lasts. Anyway, so for those who don't know, our studio is called Act None, and we have made 3 games, which I would describe as, you see the little blurb there. This is like interactive fiction, RPGs. They're mostly like text-based, but So these are loosely connected games with a focus on story, and they're sort of set in a dark fantasy world. And this is our latest game. I'll just give you a summary of what it's, try to give you an idea of what it's like, but you can see to the left there, you can see the combat system. There can be multiple opponents, but in this case it's just one. And then to the right you can see kind of what most of the game looks like, where you have a narrative at the top and then some different options that you can choose from. And normally also you would have a little map button below those options, which allows you to access the map and travel freely between locations you've already discovered. So then you have levels, you have attributes, you have equipment, you have character classes, which is a new thing in this game, which just gives you access to unique traits, and it's basically based on like a fighter and rogue archetype, but we call them something else. You have a sort of story with choice and consequence and a lot of hidden stuff, and yeah, that's basically what the games are, are like. So moving on, two things, all right? So we had a big update which was intended to fix the most controversial feature of the game that I discussed last week, which made players really angry, and we were hoping to salvage that situation. So I want to talk about how that was received since then, and more importantly, we got confirmation that Black Dust will be on the subscription service, which is called Google Play Pass, and clearly this is calls for a celebration because, we're gonna make some more money, and that's a good thing. So anyway, that's the two things I wanted to talk about. So back to the reception then for this final update. I'll just give you this. So you can see here, this user gave us a 2-star review, which would have been a 5 out of 5 if it weren't for that thing that made him so angry. And he posted this review while I was working on that update that was supposed to fix that problem. And you can see now that he has amended his review with a 5-star review. And, purely for specifying that thing that we fixed. So that's pretty reassuring. I was hoping to not have to keep fixing this thing. So basically, yeah. So this means that the game is finished. I'm working on a DLC, but it's like in early design stages. So I'm done with Black Dust, basically, for now. Any questions? Andreas.
What was that animal in the first slide?
Oh, that is a Moogle.
Are they technically a cat?
If they are technically a cat.
Yeah.
I think not, because they can speak, and they have little bat wings, and they can cast spells and wield weaponry and stuff like that. I don't think cats do that.
Detect the theme in your presentations.
Oh, then okay. No, I was just thinking like since the black cat was such a hit from last week,
Yeah.
I wanted to find another cute animal that I like, but I don't know. It doesn't feel fair to call it an animal because because of some of the reasons. Anyway, let's. I guess the answer to your question is no.
I think that Google is a party animal.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, Erasmus.
Since you're just starting to learn code, what did you develop the games in?
Well, so I am using a sort of visual scripting tool that was specially made for our custom engines. So it's like, yeah, it's visual scripting. It's some form of high-level programming, I guess, if you want to be generous about it. But yeah.
I'm curious about the Google Play Pass. Do they give you some kind of guarantee in terms of sale, or how do monetization work when it's a subscription model?
So as far as I understand it, it's based on you get like your slice of the pie based on how much downloads you get. So when our first game got on it like half a year ago, we got we made more money than we ever made before, actually, from that. And I guess the so it kind of tapered off after the first month, but it's still a steady source of revenue. And overall, now at this point, we're from our 3 games, these ones, we are actually making a living, so it's okay. Yeah. Brian.
I'm curious with the refinements that you've probably made to the Alchemy formula over time with each successive game. Have you ever been tempted to go back to earlier ones and tweak them a little bit with the newer things in mind, or do you leave them alone?
Well, I'm happy you asked that because Untold, which is our first game, did get like a big remaster last year. So and we retrofitted like the turn-based combat system into that. We had a pretty bad real-time system in that game, but we kept the structure of it, so it's still 1v1 combat encounters, whereas like multiple opponents were introduced in the turn-based system for the second game. So we kind of kept some of it intact, but we did a lot of polish and stuff for the first game, and of course a lot of the combat had to be encounters had to be redesigned to fit the system and stuff. So we do go back and and what's it?
As a follow-up question with you kind of redoing the kind of combat system in the first game, I don't know, did you notice any change in reviews or any response to that kind of thing, or I don't know if you have access to that or remember?
I would say that based on what I've seen, some people, very few people seem to like the original combat system. Some do, apparently, but most people seem to agree that it's a better fit to have turn-based combat in a story game like this when you're reading. It's kind of like, to me, it always seemed like two opposite ends of the spectrum, having like actiony, reaction-based combat with, you know what I mean? So it seems like most people like the update, yeah. Oh, is that it? All right, thank you.
Sound is a disappointment. Maybe you expected more questions.
No.
Is that it? Is that all the questions you had? Fucking show this man respect. Mariana!
Hey, hey. Oh. Have you guys seen that moon up there? Like, so bright.
Is there a moon out?
There is moon.
No, that's shit.
Hello, I'm Mariana. Weird. How do you talk? And more. Better words. I'm talking about my game, Korta 1996, and we're developing it with together with Fan, and we have been working. Basically, we're aiming to have an update on the demo before next fest, because we will be taking part in this month's Steam Next Fest, and we've been going back a little bit to some of like core stuff for of the game to make it feel better, so that it gives a better first impression to new players who might try out the demo. So I've been working on this tedious stuff of like how many pixels should a shelf be, and how many pixels should a book be when you put it down this way and that way, and what should it be when you hold it in hands. So we fixed a lot of that stuff. In-hand sprite used to be the one you see here as the like kind of for books, used to be like straight on, but it was jarring to like be like placing a book and then it pops in front of your face like immediately. So I made it a bit more subtle, so it's just like shoop, shoop. Finding perfect width, so we made it more like snap to 6 6 pixels width. Before it was 3, and the books were like more different sizes. Now they're all like divisible by 6 in width. We adjusted like a dead zone where if you pick up an item, it will show like in-hand sprites, and if you move a certain amount, then it will start putting it back on shelf basically. So you will get like, without that you would be like either like just it doesn't feel like you picked it up at all, or it feels like you have to like move it really far away to put it back in the shelf. So we like made it kind of more intuitive and made the shelving more snug, so it feels like you can fill it up. And I'll also show a video of how it looks like right now. That is what it is. I wanted to talk a little bit about, like, since we're all struggling people, I think, like, at some points. Then I wanted to talk about my struggles with working on this kind of detail, and I thought it would be really easy, but I'm like halfway through the first day, and then it's like not feeling really bored, and I started to really overthink everything and feel like something is wrong, something, I'm not happy, like I can't work, I can't be motivated, and maybe like all the colors started to like melt into each other because I was looking at them for so long, and I thought like maybe I should totally change the color palette, because like it's not working, it's not like, and these items, they're not impressive. So yeah, I got these struggles, but I also got like some, thanks to going through all of that in my brain, I realized that it actually takes more effort than I thought to focus on this small stuff, and that even if I feel bad, then that doesn't make the work bad, which is like a big step for me to understand, like, or like separate somehow in my brain like how I feel about a thing I'm looking at and how it is like more objective. And also we had a little meeting and decided to also work in parallel on some bigger changes, so that it will be like more exciting than just like tiny little. And I have a little sneak peek of what's coming up with the UI. So I'm gonna show. Yeah, so maybe you, if you've seen me show the game before, then maybe you remember that it's used to be like there's a scene, and in front of it, like the kind of notebook UI slides down. But since we are like design is more towards like, oh, it should feel like it's part of that world, then we are going now for more like when you take out the notebook, it feels like you're sitting down with it. So you'll have a notebook, and you also have like a Walkman where you can replay like voice clips that you've heard by using like cassettes. And we started working on that. So there's some 3D shenanigans that Flan is doing with the page turning as well. Like space. Any questions? Yes.
You're getting some nice feedback in the chat about the sound design. People seem very happy with it.
Oh, nice.
No, okay.
Yes.
When you pick a cup and put it in the cupboard, can you drop it?
No. Most requested feature.
What is the estimated length or duration of the game, would you say?
I think it could be like 2 hours until infinity or something. That's what I imagine right now. It's like the one, like the iteration we have, like the demo, is kind of playable in like under half an hour, I think. If my little brother is doing it, because he's a gamer and he's played it like 100 times. But there will be more stuff, so it's gonna be like at least 2 hours. Yeah. Any other?
Next up, Remy. Remy Kousradou.
Hello. Yeah, that's my name. Yes. Okay, hello, my name is Remy. I got a new job. I am working on that game with Belinda for Pine Creek Games. Yeah, I'm gonna do Unity development, a lot of different things because it's a very small team, so I'm gonna probably touch many different things. Yeah, it's a cozy survival game where you play as this cute mouse in the mountains. And it's cold, and you need clothes, warm clothes to survive. And it's cozy, so you're knitting the clothes. That's how you can tell it's cozy. Yeah, and then cook and drink tea and this kind of stuff. It's very cute. Yeah, let's maybe not watch the whole thing. There's a demo, play it. Then I also worked on Froglike for the update for next week. Now the bugs can spawn in different patterns, including polygons and sprites. And here is the Not Us logo in the butterfly form. So it's like the bugs are screaming, "Not us!" Yeah, that's it. Next week. And I also made levels for Nimue, is a game by Jordan that he's gonna present. You're gonna play tomorrow, I guess. Yeah, small puzzle game. Any questions? I didn't prepare a presentation, I'm sorry, it's just random shit. Yes, yeah.
Will there be a Heatwave DLC for the winter world?
A what?
Heatwave.
Heatwave. I'm not allowed to reveal any information.
How does making a sprite be made out of flies work?
So the way I did it is just pixel based, so every pixel is a bug. So I create the sprites especially for that purpose. So I just design like very small sprites. It's just pixel art, and I just make sure that then I can just set the size, the space between the bugs.
So you can't just put any sprite. It needs to be prepared.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no. If you try to put a sprite that's too big, it's gonna the engine is gonna struggle a tiny bit. I mean, what's gonna happen is that way too many bugs are gonna be spawned, and when you reach that limit, like I have 1,000 bugs max, I guess, then you're gonna start recycle the first ones to spawn more. So you will never see the full sprite. So you have to design the sprites. Yes.
Is it possible in any way to have different bugs within the same swarm, or at the moment is it all the one type of insect that's in?
So right now it's just one type. You could cheat, have two different sprites that you then combine. You make sure that they spawn at the same time, and then you could have two different bugs, types of bugs, showing the same picture. But right now you'd have to cheat and use two sprites. Yeah. No more questions? All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to book the chipmunks, but we did get Alvin.
Oh.
Hello.
Got him.
Meow. This is the one, right? Start a build spill. All right. Hello, everyone. It's a reintroduction. This is like my third time here. My name is Alvin. I'm from Singapore, and I'm currently working on like my first PC game. It's a liminal horror experience inspired by Iron Lang. I'll show you in a bit. So yes, as mentioned, right, this is my third time here at Spell. I love this place, and I'll be staying here till like early April, and probably back in like September or something like that later in the year. So previously, I've worked in like film VFX, and I switched to game dev around like 1.5 years ago. So if you've seen some of these, right, I worked on them. This is my game right now I'm working on called 7821 Akuji. So it's inspired by Iron Lang, which is this like really awesome indie game. Let me just show you. Yeah, so you're inside this submarine and you're piloting it to save someone. I haven't decided it's someone or something yet. So basically, this is like a small game to learn Unreal Engine. I've spent around like 5 months of dev time on this game so far. Yeah, I think the rest is, I'm not sure why I put all this kind of text here. So let me just play the video and show you some clips from it. Play. My God, the compression is. Casper's not here, right? But Casper was the one that told me to have like more physical controls in the game, which is why you get all these kind of like physical controls for you to move. Previously, it was just like buttons. So this is showing off like some of the mechanisms. You need to find like keys and stuff like that in order to operate gates and stuff like that. So this is like one of the other areas, which is like a science lab where you're performing experiments and stuff like that. So this is one of the key points of the story. This orange thing, I'm not going to say too much, but here I'm just going to specifically trigger like a death sequence if you get too close to it, stuff like that. This is like another part of the liminal experience. Is like I was inspired by how sperm whales sleep in real life. They sleep vertically in real life, and it's So yep, that's some of the gameplay. Back to this. At Spell here, right, I'm just mainly making like the assets and the levels for the story and the game. Because making like 3D game, right, it really takes up a lot of time just creating the assets. It's like, oh my god, I thought simplifying the assets would help. It does not. Also, right, I need to get a lot of sound effects in the game. Right now, the sound effects are like non-existent. It's like placeholder sound effects. Also set up the game for like different languages and translations. Like right now, I haven't figured out how to do it for like Japanese and Chinese. Most other languages are fine. Set up Steam achievements, and this game is also going to be on Next Fest. Quarter and other games. It's submitted, but I have to fix some bugs with Steam. So yeah, I'm hoping to finish this game by late April, early May. Then yeah, on get rid of this project done. Then get on to another project. That's the plan. So yeah. Any questions? Yes. Right.
With the cockpit setup,
Yep.
are you also targeting VR with this?
No, I'm not. That's a good point. People have asked me why I'm not doing VR or why I'm not using the same controller as OceanGate. But no. Yes, please.
Maybe I didn't hear this, but did you make the music or did you get it?
No. The background music is asset from itch.io. Yeah, the background music. Then some of the sound effects I use like Pigment 6. So yeah, soft synth. Yeah. If not, I use some sounds from freesound.org. Yeah. Yeah.
Can I see the movies you made?
Oh, these?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them. Yeah.
It's a nice resume, man.
Yeah. Thanks. I was very lucky to get in early.
What is the problem causing you not to get the Japanese and Chinese translation?
Fonts primarily. I haven't figured out how to get switching the fonts and stuff like that. Yeah, because I'm using Unreal and I'm new to it. I'm not sure what's going on. Yep. Yes.
With the new interface, is that entirely mouse-based or do keyboard shortcuts still exist?
No, right now it's entirely mouse-based, and I'm not 100% happy with it because I like Steam Deck, right? I'm not sure how players will actually access this game via Steam Deck. That's something I need to look into. Yeah, but sorry.
Do you need to borrow a Steam Deck while you're in
Possibly, that'll be good. Yeah, I will reach out for sure. Yes. No? Alright. So last thing, right? I have Princess Tota in kitchen after SGDC, so I'll catch you both there. Thank you.
Next up, another introduction from Emma. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Top. Up. Message request. Up. How would you say it?
Ömer.
Basically what I said.
Hello everyone. My name is Ömer. I'm a computer engineer and a game developer from Turkey. I am new here. I'm 22 years old and I'm making games for a long time. So basically when I was a child I used to love making levels on games level editors, and I just said it would be so cool to make a game myself, and I started learning game development at a very young age. I started with Game Maker. Then at middle school they taught us Scratch. I learned some algorithms on it. Then I came back to Game Maker and learned coding for the first time. Then at high school I started learning Unity, which I'm still using. It was really hard for me because there were no game developers or interested people near me, so I had to learn everything by myself, and yeah, you probably know the struggle. And at the university, I started attending game jams for the first time, and I made lots of games. I have earned some awards on them. Then I met a publisher on one of the game jams, and they said, "Why don't you make games for Steam? We can help you." I said, "Oh, nice." Then I published 2 Steam games. The first one is Ojiv. It's an hentai rhythm game. Basically, when you hit the notes correctly, the girls are taking their clothes off. And my second game is Under in Webs. It's an first-person non-Euclidean puzzle game, similar to Superliminal Viewfinder. As you can guess, this game isn't as successful as the first one. And currently, I'm working on an alchemy simulation game. It's basically like potion craft, but in first person. We have an alchemy shop, and there are customers coming. They are telling their stories to us, and we are making potions for them. These are all work in progress. We still don't have a 3D artist, so these are all my assets. They are gonna change. And yeah, finally, these are some of my favorite games. Let me add that. And thanks for listening. Do you have any questions? Yeah.
Do they put on clothes if you fail at the rhythm game?
Like the enemy doesn't put on, but our character has a health, and when the health decreases, it takes off clothes, but when the health increases, yeah, puts back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you work solo on all of these projects, or?
The hentai one, I have worked with 2 musicians. Other than that, yeah, all of them are solo.
So you made the art?
It was AI art, but then we painted on top of it. Yeah.
The image at the very beginning, the representing you, I'm assuming, is that in any way inspired by JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, or is that?
Yes. It's my favorite anime. I have drawn it. It's from Part 7 style. Yeah.
Which is your favorite season of JoJo?
Part 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I fucking love Gyro.
Do all alchemy shops have a reject customer lever?
It's for testing purposes. I'm gonna remove it. Yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
You need one of those.
I need one of those for the house.
So, thanks for listening.
All right. Thank you for coming. And yep. Happy New Year. Happy Valentine's Day tomorrow. Yeah. Bye.